So this video will be my 2024 AT&T hot take. But before I start this video, I want to thank all of you for supporting the channel. I want to wish all of you, for those of you who do celebrate, I want to wish all of you happy holidays. Hope you spend time with your families. Merry Christmas. And this video is going to be a longer video, so I wanted to make that disclaimer. So make sure you guys grab your drinks, hot chocolate, your tamales, whatever you guys eat for the holidays. Make sure you grab it, because this is going to be a longer video. So let's get right into it. So the article on screen is a placeholder from a while back. This is more about this article was more about Chris Sambar explaining on how AT&T is going to further handle the increase in data traffic moving forward over the next several years. So my 2024 hot take. So what I'm about to say on this hot take, it may leave you a bit shocked. It may leave you guessing like, what is Tech Life saying? What is he talking about? So I think AT&T has an insane opportunity in 2024. And my hot take will be, so I truly believe that AT&T will create the best balance sheet in the wireless industry. From a financial perspective, I do truly believe they will get back to their glory days. And they will do this with three of their businesses that they will continue growing. The first one is wireless. The wireless segment is their bread and butter. So the consumer side, they will remain competitive and they will grow. FirstNet plays a factor in that as well. That adds, the 500,000 ads that they get per quarter, or that they have been getting per quarter. FirstNet, they usually get about 100 to 200,000 of the 500,000. That's FirstNet. So we got to take that into consideration as well. And then business, the business wireless side, they will continue to scale and grow that business in 2024. So these are the three ways that they will get there. Two, it's going to come from wireline. They're going to do fiber. They're going to continue on their path of 250 to 300,000. That's part of my hot take. I think they can accelerate as well as part of the expansion beyond 30 million households. Although all of that won't happen inside of 2024. But the hot take here is that they continue on their path between 250 to 300,000. The third one, it's fixed wireless access. So if you want to include that with home broadband, that's fine. But that's not wireline. That's coming from the wireless side. So in Q3, they did about 25,000. I think they scale that gradually as we go through 2024. In Q4, when they report those numbers, I truly expect them to do 50 to 75,000 and scale that more and more thereafter. Now, I don't ever see them getting to 500,000 or 600,000, but I feel, and this is another hot take, I feel if they can hit a solid pace on the FWA ads and you mix that with wireline fiber, they could probably get to about 350 to 400,000 ads per quarter when you total both. I think that's an achievable run rate, and it should have their balance sheet the best in the industry. I mean, they're charging you $55 as a standalone product for FWA. They have 3 pricing tiers for fiber. It should yield to be the best ARPU in the market. They don't have pricing tiers. The only other discount that you get for FWA is if you bundle that with wireless. And I feel that at some point, as this matures for AT&T, they're going to also include that in the converged offer. The converged offer, in my opinion, is the way to go. And AT&T internally right now, that's their biggest focus. It's the converged offering. And I think that will help them yield that 350 to 400,000 ads on their home broadband side, mixing in fiber with wireless, with fixed wireless access ads. So those are the 3 ways that I feel they become the best balance sheet and get back to their glory days. Now, they have a ways to go to fix some of their their services, right? They still got to fix some. Their wireless network is not as reliable and as big on the western side of the USA. AT&T understands that. So with FirstNet and them working together, eventually they will get there, but they still have a ways to go. Now, on the eastern side of the country, the East Coast, they're getting a lot better. They're getting bigger. The network is getting more extensive. They're densifying where need be. So they're making strides. And I think from that perspective, AT&T has already been the sleeping giant. People are writing them off. People are saying, they're not as strong on wireless. But overall, as a business, they do great. They're doing about $16 billion in free cash flow. That's probably going to be higher in the future, in my opinion. So they're doing what's necessary for their business. It's not flashy. It's not the best by any means, other than the fiber. The fiber product right now, they're at about 1.2, 1.3 million square miles covered with their fiber. And that is the best possible product that you can get. They claim it's the best fiber wireline service in the world. So that's understandable. They invest big in that. Google Fiber never took that to that level. No other company wanted to go that big on fiber. Verizon sold off to Frontier. So nobody wanted to embark on that journey because it was just so expensive. So that's one, right? So the hot take, AT&T with the Ericsson rip and replace in Nokia markets, with a little bit of renewed focus on the mid-band deployment based on Sampath, the 5G standalone core. I think they get to 260 million pops covered with C-band next year. That's not a, super great number compared to the competition, but I think they can do it. They carve out a little bit more CapEx. They get some of these tower engineers on board, the tower crews, and they just go and deploy at a very quick pace. I'm hearing, to throw that in as a tidbit, I'm hearing they're going to end the year at about 205, 210 million pops covered. They had the 200 million that they announced that a bit early to close out the year. They're pushing another 10 million pops in. There's lots of upgrades still happening across Southern California, on the western side, some happening on the eastern. I'm told some rip and replaces from Nokia to Ericsson already happening now. So they're going to get to 260 million pops covered by the end of 2024. 250, 260. That's my hot take. I don't see why not. Unless there's another huge shortage in equipment or a tower crew shortage, I don't foresee that happening. So I see AT&T going full throttle over the next 24 months to achieve that goal. 260, I don't know if they have. I was not told that they have an internal goal to get the 300 million pops. I would assume so. Why not? If you can't get fiber to some of these rural areas, you're going to use that gig power or gig air, whatever it's called, and they're just going to do the thing. They're going to do it. It's business. It's competitive. They can overlay some of their DSL with FWA, or actually they can overlay a lot of that DSL footprint with FWA. They can finally retire that DSL or that copper footprint altogether at a bigger scale, which leads to massive cost savings. So there would be a lot of benefit, in my opinion, for AT&T going to 300 million pops. They could retire the copper footprint sooner. They could retain a lot of that base instead of having high churn. It just has a lot of benefits to growing to get to 300 million pops. I foresee that happening in 2025, 2026. I don't believe AT&T is in such a rush to get there because they still have to invest big in fiber, and that's very expensive for the company. But, those are just some of my hot takes. I feel they will have a second best network. Verizon will have the first best network. AT&T will showcase the second best network at scale in the United States. And T-Mobile will have the third best network when it's all said and done. AT&T just does too much work behind the scenes on the data centers, the reliability piece, the redundancy. There's just too much investment going into that for them to fall that far behind. Unless T-Mobile makes a major shift and change in their strategy in terms of the capital to begin with, if they go to like 11, 12, 13, 14 billion in the future, then I see that changing a bit. But for now, I just see AT&T having already made a large investment in that and making an even bigger investment moving into the future with the networking piece. It doesn't just start with just the wireless infrastructure itself. You got to remember, it's also the back end, the networking, the redundancy, the field engineers. It has to do with all of that. And when all of that comes together, I feel AT&T will have the second best network in the country. Backup generators already at sites at large scale. FirstNet builds, I'm told they have to come with backup generators for reliability for first responders. So that's all happening within the network. Sites that don't have backup generators, of course, AT&T is going back to those and adding that. So, and the CRAN, I'm told the CRAN project has finally been approved that they wanted to do in 2014, 2015, and they're now going to be rolling that out across the nation. They've already started, but they're going to embark on that bigger journey over the next few years to kind of offset and help with what Chris Sambar is talking about in this article in terms of the data usage increasing exponentially over the next few years. So CRAN will help with that. Getting C-band and DoD on the small cells will help greatly with that. And then, of course, more tower sites will help with that as well. And then the last missing piece, 10 gig fiber. AT&T is going to scale that big in 2024. That's my hot take. That's going on all sites where they own their own fiber. And that's going to make them the second best network across the United States. And that is my hot take. And I'll leave you guys with that. So make sure you guys enjoy your holidays. Leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys stay tuned, like, share, subscribe. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.